Hi, it's Nell, and today I'm over at my work table and I'm going to make a fall arrangement using these ingredients. You can see the decorative little pumpkins, pomegranates from my garden, Shiseido peppers, some walnuts I gilded, those sweet little pears, some succulent cuttings, the peppers, more succulents, and an orchid. So stick around and see what I'm going to do. So I have all the ingredients pushed over to the side, and what is the main focal point is this Cholla branch that I collected in the desert a couple weeks ago on my walk, on one of my walks, and I have it in this container just because it holds it up really well. I'm eventually going to cover the rocks up with foliage, but they're just weighting this beautiful branch down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the orchid and these succulents that I have wrapped in moss. These are actually little 2-inch succulents. I just took a piece of this sheet moss, I wrapped around, I glued it, and then I glued it like a package. So these are going to rest in this tree, and that is what is going to be the start of this arrangement. And I always like to do some sort of a crafting or creating video for the fall or for Christmas, because I just do. I really like to do it, so I wanted to have something that was a little bit more unusual rather than your oranges and your burgundies and all those traditional bronzy fall colors. So this is something that I thought would be fun to do, and it's going to have little pops of color in it, and it's going to have everything that I'm using is natural. So there isn't anything that I bought besides, the produce. And let's see, I think that's it, yes. And some of the succulents I'm going to use are some little succulent plants, and some of them are some succulent cuttings. Some I took from my little succulent garden here. I used to have a lot of succulents in Santa Barbara, and I could just go out and cut, and I could make all this stuff here. I don't have quite as many in the desert, but it's beautiful now. It's cooled down a bit. Is the day before Halloween. It's October 30th, and I think it was 85 today, so we are cooling down some. And one little hint about moss: when you're working with it, it can be very dry, so you can either just run it under the faucet or you can spray it. I sprayed on the inside and the outside, and that makes it a little bit more pliable. And I am working outside because I don't have a dining room table yet. We haven't gotten one. We eat outside all the time, so I'm gonna get around to doing that this winter. And the light is nice out here, so that's why I prefer to work outside. So you can pretend this is a dining table, a credenza, a buffet, some sort of a hall table or console. It would be beautiful on any of those. And it's also longer lasting than cut flowers, that's for sure. I don't have these attached in yet. I just have that very loosely wired, but this is sort of the idea of what I want. I want a lot of this beautiful branch to show, but I just want a little pop of plants here. And of course the orchid. I was going to do a bromeliad, but I couldn't find a small one. I wanted orange or deep red, and I couldn't find one in 4-inch. Anyway, this is what it is going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach them with the wire. And the nice thing about Cholla wood too is I can also, if I wanted, I could attach it through one of these holes too, because this is how they grow. They're skeleton. They're called Cholla wood skeletons. Okay, so they're all attached on. Staying on really well in their little nooks there. And I took the stakes off the orchids because or the orchid stems, spikes, because I just think it looks better. And I have one tied up with a piece of mossy twine. So now it's time to get going on the base. Okay, I usually start these sorts of things by getting in the largest pieces first, which are the pumpkins. Then I'll do the pomegranates, and you just work them any way you find pleasing. And what I do is sometimes I make these arrangements really long and drawn out, or sometimes I make them a little bit more compact. I'm going to do this one a bit more compact at the base because A, I want the tree to really stand out, and B, it will be better for photography. Okay, I tucked in some magnolia cones here and there. These I did not collect here in Tucson. I collected them in Santa Barbara and brought them with me, but I just love how they look. And I'm going to put a few 2-inch succulents at the base of this tree, just because I think it's going to look nice there. And then I will cover up their soil with some foliage I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick some creeping fig at the end. I've tucked in the pears, and what those magnolia cones help to do too is they really help to anchor things in and hold them in a bit. So now I'm going to do the peppers and the walnuts and then the succulent cuttings. I said you can use whatever is available to you, green-wise or produce-wise too. I was looking for lady apples because I love lady apples, but I couldn't find them here. So I went ahead and used the darling little pears. And the rest of it's going to go in here along with some moss. And this Ficus pumila actually dries beautifully. So I don't have to worry about it looking too bad. It can just stay in here. Get some coming out of here. And then the rest of the root balls I'm going to cover up with moss. So the moss, it ties in from up here also. So these are pork and beans or jelly bean plant. This is actually the pink jelly bean plant. The variety is Ara, or not Ara, Aurora. I used to have both of these in my garden in Santa Barbara, and I just really like them. I think they're just really pretty, and they add just a little bit more texture to this arrangement. And then I can root them. I want one right on this big hunk of moss. I don't know how many I'm going to use. This as a whole big branch. And then I can just easily stick these back in to root. And as you can see in the pots, there's all these baby plants coming at the base anyway. So that is what I will do. Put that one there because it's kind of the star of the show. It's a big, huge branch. And these grow like crazy, so they'll be back up in no time. Okay, so this is all I have left of the plants, but they will come back just beautifully. There's a lot of nice little growth, and these I can also plant in. They'll heal for a bit. I added a couple up here and a few at the base here, and the rest are just tucked in. So this is an arrangement that you can enjoy for a long time, and you can also eat a lot of it, and you can plant a lot of it. It's not the best backdrop, but at least the light is decent. All right, so all done. What took me the longest was probably getting set up for the video. It always takes a while with these kind of things, but was probably wrapping these in the moss. It doesn't take that long. It can just be kind of picky and you have to glue, like on these ones here, I probably glued in about 6 spots. And as I said, I glue moss to moss, so I'm not gluing the plant. But this will last for a while, and all you would need to do is spray the orchid. You want to spray the moss too, and you could just do that like every week. Spray the foliage too, because it would enjoy that. Don't spray the flower. And you could spray the succulent balls like maybe every 2 weeks or so at the most. So I hope that you found this to be pleasing, and as I said, you can make it longer, you can make it more compact, however you find it pleasing, or whatever the size of your table is that it is going on. And for up here, you could just do all air plants, which would be really easy because you wouldn't need any moss with those at all. So, as always, there is a blog post to go along with this video. It'll have pictures and some of the step-by-steps, or probably all of the step-by-steps in here. And I thank you, as always, for all your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate them. I have a lot more videos coming your way. What's up next? I don't know what's up next. Maybe planting succulents with no drainage. I'm doing that pretty soon. And then I'm doing growing kalanchoes indoors. And then we have some Christmas stuff coming up. So, but in the meantime, let's get out in the gardens, or if you're in a colder climate, in your indoor gardens, and make our worlds a more beautiful place. And happy fall. This would be beautiful if you're having a Thanksgiving party. I wish you all the best, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.